Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You're welcome to B2 lesson 2, and it will be very good if we start today's lesson with reading skills. I want to explain 2 reading skills to you. That is one of the goals for today's lesson. And after that, we will revise the present tenses. The present tenses, they are made up of the present simple, present continuous. So we will revise the present simple and the present continuous after we've looked at these reading skills. Now, the reading skills we are going to look at are skimming and scanning. So we have 2 reading skills, and all of this means that you must read quickly. That is reading. You read a text quickly, very quickly, not trying to understand every word. Just trying to get a general idea. This is very important. A general idea of what it is about. So when you read quickly to get a general idea about what the reading is about, of what the text is about, we call it skimming. And the second skill is when you read by running your eyes over the text very quickly, just looking for particular words or information. So when you look for tafasil, for details, for particular words, so you can see this is the key word, yeah, the key expression here, or information, particular, the word is particular or detail. We call it scanning. Read quickly for details is what we call as scanning, what we know as scanning. Now we can move to the review of the present tense. Let me change the page for you. Yes, so we have here review of present tenses. Now, identify the online tenses in example A to D. So, which tenses are these? Look at the examples. A says, the little guy jogs along endlessly at a slow rate. Now, we have this word, the verb is what? Jogs. So when you see the verb jogs, you know this is which tense is it. It's very clear this is what the present simple. So let's write that one here. This is what present simple is at the top of it. No, beside it would be better. This is present simple. Present simple. So we have this. A is present. Simple. So A is present simple. Okay, so present simple. Talking about what is the explanation? Present simple, something the guy does. Is doing the time. Is doing the little guy jogs along endlessly at a slow rate. So this is the present simple because of the S here. You can see the little guy is he. So jogs. Because of the S here is the present simple. Okay, now let's pause the recording while you look for the tenses in B, C, and D. Pause the recording while you do that. So let's now look at all the answers. So we have A, B, C, and D. This A is the present simple, as you can see. Then B, this is the answer to question B. While you're gathering your thoughts, you can enjoy the background music. So this is present continuous. We have is are with verb and plus ing. So this is you are gathering. And then we have C as again. So it's and the present simple again, and then D, are becoming. You can see this is also the present continuous once again. So we have the present continuous. Now what we have to do is this. The second part of the question I want us to complete. This is the rule, and this is the explanation, how we explain this. So the present what tense is used for permanent situations, or example, that is, or to talk about actions which are habitual or repeated. So when we talk about things that we do again and again, or things that are permanent, that is, they are fixed, they are there, they don't change. That is, we use what, and here you can see that we normally use the present simple for that. So we can see this is the explanation for all things for them. The present simple is used to talk about permanent situations. So example A, so the example is A here. Or talk about actions which are habitual or repeated. So when we talk about actions which are habits or habitual, we have an example in C here. And then on the other hand, the present continuous, this is the present continuous, will come here. It's used for temporary situations. What is not permanent, something that is changing, it is a temporary situation. And so we have an example in B, as you can see. So this is the answer. You can see the answers here, and this is the explanation of them. Or for situations that are changing or developing. So situations that are changing or developing. An example is sentence D. This is something that is changing, are becoming, changing or developing. So that is the explanation for them. Permanent situation, the little guy jogs along endlessly at a slow rate. So this is permanent, something that happens, and it's what, endlessly, as you can see the word, like permanent. Okay, something that doesn't change, that doesn't end, that's permanent situation. And then we have the rest. B, example of B is what, a temporary situation. This is something that is changing, something that is not fixed, that can change, and that you're gathering your thoughts. A time will come that you will not be thinking. So thinking takes some time, and then it's not something that is endless. That happens and it doesn't, and it changes. That's so. These are the explanations to them. Here, so we can write this here. The answers are here already, but for you to get what we are doing, you can see simple is here. So the present simple tense, and then the example here is what, A. Yeah. So you can see the rest. Here we have example in C. So the same, this is the answer. So you can look, you can check your answers. Okay, good. We can now look at. Okay, so we can now look at this activity. Explain the other uses of each sentence that are illustrated in this example. So to explain how these are used. So we have the first one. We're buying a new computer next weekend. We're buying. You can see this is the present continuous, but here it is next weekend. So we are using it for the future, and you can see the answer here. So the A, so is the present continuous, but we are buying the present continuous, but we're using it for the future. Weekend, next weekend is the future. Very good. Now we can also look at the next. If you finish all the levels within an hour, you get extra points. You can see that we have finished simple present, and then get also simple present, and we have if. We call this zero conditional. we have what we call conditional sentences. If with simple present and simple present, we say it is zero conditional. We have other conditionals, like if we use the simple present and in the if clause, and we use will or shall in the main clause, we call that one the first conditional. So we have zero, first, second, and third conditionals. And zero here is zero conditional is when we use simple present and simple present again, finish and get. And then we have if. This is what we call the conditional sentences. All of them start with if, or we can put, or we can use put the if in the middle and then start with the main clause. So this is the zero conditional. So we have it here. We use B is using the zero conditional, present simple. So we have present simple and present simple. And then we have C, which says, don't talk to me while I'm playing. While I'm playing, here is what present continuous. The person is doing the thing at the same time. So this is now. What's happening now? And is the present continuous there. So used for talking about something that is happening now. That's the present continuous. And then once you decide where to go, let me know. Now, and this once you decide, it once shows the time, and at the time that you decide. And so we call it the time clause. The time clause. And once you decide where to go, and here you can see that the person will decide in the future, but yet we use the present simple for that. And this is the time clause. It shows once, the word once, or as soon as you decide. We can also say as soon as you decide. And all of these are known as what time clauses. When you see when you see as soon as, when you see once, we use them. Actually, we are talking about what will happen. The person will decide in the future, but we use the present simple for them. So this is time clause, present simple, using a time clause, present simple. And then we have the next, that's E, which is all the planets in our solar system orbit the sun. Now, this is something that is true all the time. Orbit means they go around the sun. So this is something, the present simple is used for something that is true all the time. And you can you see the answer here used for talking about something that is true at all times. Without the present simple for that. Now let's look at three any mistakes with tense in these sentences. Some sentences are correct, so not sentences A to G. Not all of them. Not all of them are wrong. Some are correct. So we have one or electronics are becoming more and more popular. We can see that there's nothing wrong with this sentence. So we say this sentence is correct. So sentence A is correct. Now this week only the sales all software at 20% off. Now this week is something that is happening now. So we cannot use sales. We cannot use sales. We must use the present continuous that for the future. Okay, for what is happening within this time. Actually, we use the present continuous here for what is happening this week, something that is happening now throughout the week. So we don't use the present simple here. We use the present continuous. This is happening this week. So we cancel sell, and then we write is selling. Let me just cancel that. So we cancel this sales, and then we replace it with is selling. This should be the shop is selling. Okay, so this is correction we've made on it in the sentence we made in the sentence. Now then we have C, which says don't shut down the computer as I'm downloading a film. And this is also correct because the person is downloading the film now, and there's nothing wrong with this sentence. So this is also correct. Now I want you to pause the recording, then complete D to G. pause the recording. When you finish, then you check the answers. Okay, so these are the answers. So you can see that uh, as soon as you can see the here, as soon as you play the present simple, because in the time clause it's the same as once you play or when you play this game. So this should be not as soon as you are playing. We're talking about uh, the person thinking about the future, but the time clause as soon as speaks about time, a time in the future. So, but you don't use the present. We normally use the present simple for that. So it becomes play, present tense in the time clause. Then we have E. My neighbor gives me access to his Wi-Fi this week. So this should be what present continuous is given me this week because of this week. The time expression this week means we should use the present continuous. So my neighbor is giving me access to his Wi-Fi this week. So present continuous for a temporary situation, and it is only this week. It's temporary means it will change. The person will stop giving you. He's giving you only this week, so not for forever. Yes. And then we have F. When you visit the website, you get when you visit the website, you get a choice of free downloadable application. So this is another example of the zero conditional. Here we don't use if, but we use when. You can use if, you can use when. So if you visit a website or when you visit a website, you get. And zero means verb, simple present, visit. And then you get, also simple present. Okay, so the zero conditional is something that we use to talk about something that happens if or when a certain action takes place. Something we know, this is what will happen. Just like saying, if you heat ice, it melts. Or if you put water on fire, uh, it boils. It's the same thing. So zero conditional is simple present in the if clause. This is the if clause, visit, and then simple present again, gets in the main clause, and that is the get here, zero conditional. And then let's look at G. Once I find a useful site, I bookmark it. So one, this is another example of what of a habit. A habit. This is the habit of the person. So once I find a useful site, I bookmark it. The person, this is what he does all the time. He does this habit. It is his habit. It's something that he repeats over and over again. So bookmark, we have the present simple for habitual or repeated action. So on that note, we've come to the end of today's lesson. Inshallah, we will meet again the next time. Take care and goodbye.